What's up? In this video, we shall be talking about part 2 of equation of a line. In part 1, we spoke about inclination, slope and all those things which are essential. Using that concept, we'll be solving 2 questions. Along with that, we'll be talking about special cases. These special cases is what is used for us to get these equations. A lot of people sit and mug up those equations, the forms of equations, but after watching that video, that won't be a case. Okay, so let's begin. The first question talks about, as you guys can see on the screen right now, they're given us 2 points and they're telling it is parallel. Okay. The previous video we learned that whatever it is parallel, if something is parallel, it means that the slopes of the line are same. So m1 will be equal to m2. Now what's the meaning of m1? I'm going to use the first set of points in order to find m1, the second set of points in order to find m2. Okay, so I will do m1, you guys will do m2. That's how it is. Okay, because it's boring, that's why. Okay, so m1 will be equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, always by on top. Okay, so obviously I'll use the first set of points, whatever I've marked right now, x1 y1 x2 y2. Okay, so y2's value is minus 1, y1's value is minus 2, done. X2's value is minus 3 and a 0. So the answer is minus 3 by minus 3 gets cancelled, 1. Done. You guys check for M2. You should be getting the same answers. And this is just like a checking question. Okay. You will eventually get the same answer. The points are minus 1, 4 and 4, 9. You guys do it. I think you'll be getting 5 by 5 gets cancelled off. The answer will be 1, which means parallel, meaning both the slopes are equal. Done with that. Now they're asking us to find the value of A. These kind of questions are important. Reason is because it is given a condition here. What does the condition say? Perpendicular. If lines are perpendicular to each other, then what do we know about the slopes? In the previous video, we learned that it is m1 dot m2 will be equal to minus 1. We'll have to find the value of m1 and we'll find the value of m2. m1 using the first set of points, x1, y1, x2, y2. m1's value is y2 minus 3. Minus of minus 2 becomes a plus 2. I'm going fast here, I know that. x2's value is 2. Minus of minus 4 is plus 4. The answer is minus 1 by 6. I've got the answer as m1. Done. m2 I will be able to find, but the problem is I will be getting the slope in terms of A, because the second set of points has A in it. So I'll write x1, y1, x2 and y2. m2's value is y2 is minus 1, minus 5 divided by 2 minus A, as I told you. Okay, so the answer is minus 6 by 2 minus A. Absolutely no problem, because I know the condition here. So m1's value is minus 1 by 6 dot minus 6 by 2 minus A equals minus 1. I'll be able to cancel the 6 off. Minus 1 into minus 1 becomes a plus 1 divided by 2 minus A equals minus 1. Crisscross. 1 equals minus 2 plus A's value equals 3. That's your answer. But the most important thing is understanding the condition. Now let's dive on to the special cases. Special case meaning what are the different forms of equation of a line? There are 3 types. Always understand the third type is always dependent on 2 and 1. I'll repeat that. Third type is dependent on 2 and 1, which means it's very important for us to literally understand the actual meaning of type 1 and type 2. Type 3 can be played around. Type 1, type 2 very important. Okay. Now type 1 talks about slope intercept form. What's the meaning of slope? Previous video has been covered. What's the meaning of intercept? In this case, I mean y-intercept. Y-intercept is always represented by the letter C, to be more precise, capital C. Okay. Now if you guys see here, there's a x-axis, there's y-axis here, and I'm drawing one random straight line here. The straight line cuts y-axis at a certain point. Okay, from that point to the origin, whatever distance it covers, okay, that will be called as the y-intercept. Okay, the straight line drawn onto the y-axis, from that point to x-axis, some distance it covers, that distance will be called as intercept. In this case, the value of intercept is given to us, and most importantly, what is the equation of slope intercept form? Always remember, equation at the end. In simple language, the answer should always have x and y in it. Okay, so slope intercept form is nothing but y equals mx plus c, where y and x will remain as it is till the end, and the value of m and c is anyways given to us. Now unfortunately, the value of m is not given to us directly, but don't you think we spoke about this in the previous video? I told you that in order to find the value of m, if theta is given to us, we'll use the formula tan theta. Okay, so tan 60 will be the answer. Tan 60 is nothing but root 3. So you'll have to show this step of finding m. So the y remains as it is, m's value becomes root 3, x as it is, plus as it is. What's the value of c? 3 by 4. You can simplify it by taking LCM and crisscrossing it. So this will be your final answer for the first equation. So slope intercept form in one sentence, if you're supposed to revise, it is nothing but y equals mx plus c, where m is the slope, c is always the y-intercept. Okay, type 1. Type 2, when it's called as a point slope form, when one point is given to us along with a slope. How do we find this? Always realize this is also some equation, which means my end answer should always have x and y associated with it. Okay, now what's the hint for this? In video number 1, the previous video, we spoke about finding slope in two different forms. One was tan theta, the other one was using y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. I'll use the same thing, I'll cut off the number 2 there. I'll repeat that. I'll use the same formula for of slope, y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1 is just that I'm going to cut off the number 2. Reason is because one point is given. Okay, now what do? If I crisscross, don't you think it becomes y minus y1 equals m into x minus x1? If you ask, according to me, I would not mug this up because I already know the formula for this. I would only remember that if one point is given, I ignore the number 2. Simple. Okay, we stick on the same formula, we crisscross. I have some state here. Okay, I'm not supposed to substitute for y because final answer should have y in it. So I'll keep the y as it is. What's the value of y1? 4 given to me. Done. Equals m's value is 1 by 2 given to me. X has to remain there. Minus of minus 3 becomes a plus 3. Okay, I crisscross. It becomes 2y minus 8 equals x plus 3. So here the answer will be 2y equals x plus 11. But the most important thing is, do not mug up. If one slope and one point has been given to us, use the slope formula, get the answer, ignore the number 2. Simple. Now, as I told you in the beginning of the video, the type 3 will be dependent on type 2 and type 1, also called as 2-point form. Now in this case, if you see slope also is not given, nothing is given, 2 points are given. How do we start? We start off, guys, understand, type 3 depends on type 1 and type 2 is what I told you. Type 2, how is it dependent? I'll tell you. We'll use the same type 2 form in type 3 also. We're not changing anything. But the problem is in type 2, there's something called as m. M is missing here. So I'll ask you a question. Can we find the value of m using when 2 points are given? Yes, the previous video. How do you find m for two points? We use m equals y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Okay, now I'll start naming the points x1, y1, x2, y2. M will be equal to y2 is 2 minus y1 is 4 by x2 is 7 minus x1 is 3. 2 minus 4 is minus 2, 7 minus 3 is 4, gets cancelled. The answer is minus 1 by 2 is the answer for m. I've got my answer for m. Now, use the same type 2 here. Y minus y1 equals m into x minus x1. I'm not learning this newly. It's already what I knew. So y as it is minus y1's value. Again, now that's the most important thing. You have 2 points. Which one to choose? Choose the first point always. Ignore the second one. So what's the hint? The second point gets ignored as soon as you find the value of slope. That's it. Second point gets ignored as soon as you get the value for slope. Now y1's value is your first thing. 4 equals m is minus 1 by 2. X as it is because the final answer should have x and y in it. Minus x1 is 3. Now what can be done? I crisscross becomes 2y minus 8 equals minus x plus 3. So here 2y plus x equals 11. This is my final answer. So obviously based on these things, we'll have to do many more types of questions. In order to get notified for all those questions, subscribe. Anju varna poove, thalelo lale.